Good afternoon. I finally figured out that it is afternoon. It's been a busy morning, full of thoughts and feelings and synchronicities and a lot of really interesting things. And I ended up writing a couple of posts. And sometimes I think that there's, fewer people that get the posts, that they come to them. And it seems like both the posts I wrote today were really useful to me, and they might be useful to others. So I may just read them for those who just want a video. But to start off with, we're going to set up a world healing field for anyone affected by the destruction of the Twin Towers in New York that occurred 23 years ago on the state. So I'm going to set up the healing field for us to work with those energies, and then I'm going to read kind of two posts which were about the sequence of thoughts and things that happened over the course of an hour or more this morning. But the reading of the post won't be very long. But it just kind of shows what happens when one's in kind of a synchronistic time. So I choose to set up a healing field for the world. I ask the Brotherhood of Light, please be present. The Deva of Healing, please be present. Pan of Nature, please be present. Sisterhood of Light, please be present. All of our helpers and guides, please be present. Saint Germain, please be present. Metatron, please be present. Kuan Yin, please be present. Master Mo, please be present. Master Kun Li, please be present. The Christ Consciousness, please be present. Holders of Space, please be present. Sanat Kumara, please be present. Abrahamanad, please be present. Alcazar, please be present. The Interdimensional Being, please be present. Thoth, please be present. Ra, please be present. Deep Self, please be present. The Higher Self, please be present. Our Soul Ray group, please be present. And I ask that we be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. I would suggest that everyone state out loud who's watching this, I connect to my deep self. And experience what happens when you do that. I connect with my higher self. Notice what happens when you say that. Notice any changes that you're noticing in preparing yourself for working with the energies of this world healing field. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One and to all the beings within the One that are holding the space for this healing to take place today. Anything that I'm holding that is not of my highest good, I choose to release now. And I choose to work with all the beings that are available to me from the fifth dimension and above, who are holding the space for this healing field. And I ask for their support in my letting go of anything that's in the way of my complete and total healing. I ask that we be closed in a field of protection while we do this work, and I invite all souls affected by I ask the higher self to take us, pause, I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that we're going to release and integrate the energy of today. And I invite all souls to return to this event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. And I ask that all those souls be placed in a field of protection while they do their work. And upon our arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event, gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. Okay, the field is set up. You may be aware of the energies of the event that we went back to by grounding those energies, primarily through the feet, but there's other ways of just letting go of those energies. If you choose to do it in an easier fashion, you just release the energies as you notice them, you just release them. Or you can ground them into the healing center of the earth, even though what you're releasing are disturbed energies. Once energies are released, they're no longer disturbing. They're just energies. They're disturbed when they're held, and we feel disturbed by them. But once they're released, it's just energy. Okay. I'm going to read the post that I wrote earlier, and you can stay and listen to the reading of the posts, or you can pause now, come back later, and go to the end of this video where I'll close the field and help bring in the new energies. So right now, I'm just going to click onto the post and read it to you. And the post says that I received a great text message from a good friend this morning that said, "Dear Lord, is there a Mayan vortex portal today?" Exclamation point, question mark. And this text actually made me laugh out loud because I had just completed 2 sessions with clients that had been set up yesterday, but I wasn't talking with the clients over the phone. I just set up the field for them, and I was helping them work with the energies that they were working with. And I got up, what was late for me, at 7 a.m. to take the cat out of the room and give them some food, returning to bed to finish my dream. And in the dream, I closed the 2 fields, one by one, but I closed both of the fields that I set up in the afternoon the previous day, and closed the fields, finished the work, brought in the energies. So after doing this, I woke up, got up, and went upstairs. And I spoke with my wife for a few minutes before she went off to have a phone conversation with her daughter, who was traveling. So I was getting ready for the Collective Healing Conference that will be online from September 24th through October 1st, and it's being organized by Thomas Hubel and others. And as I watched the introductory remarks about the conference, I found myself feeling a deep peace. And I thought how back in December of 2023, I was introduced to an aspect of myself that I wasn't familiar with. And this occurred in the dream school that I've attended most nights over the past 13 years. And this aspect of myself was referred to as my deep self. And in the dream, it was suggested that I state out loud in the dream world, I connect to my deep self. And as I did this, I felt a deep sense of peacefulness. When I woke up, I said it again. I connect to my deep self. And again, I felt myself go inside myself and experienced a feeling of deep peace. I then had 2 clients do this prior to the sessions they had that day. And later that day, I think it was a Friday. And without leading them, they said they experienced a feeling of deep peace. So I didn't suggest what they would feel. I just suggested they connect with their deep self. And both of them felt a feeling of deep peace. So yesterday I was reading about the presenters who would be part of the conference, Collective Healing Conference. And one of the presenters talked about an aspect of ourselves he referred to as the deeper self. And I watched a video where he described the process of connecting with our deep self, often as a result of experiencing a deep traumatic event or loss, which is what separates our consciousness. I think that was the gist of what he was talking about, that we feel separated from our deep self or deeper self as a result of traumatic event or loss, and then we reconnect with our deep self often as a result of experience a deep traumatic event or loss. So I hope that isn't too confusing, because it can cause the separation, but it can also cause the coming together of our relationship with our deep self. So next, in the kind of video I was watching, one of the conference organizers mentioned one of the presenters having an impact on him as he interviewed them. And this person he was interviewing, his name is Dr. Albert Wong. And so I went to Dr. Wong's YouTube site and I watched a short video, and he was talking about trauma, hyperarousal, or hypoarousal. And he described hyperarousal as a fight or flight, and hyperarousal as a flop and drop. Because we cannot maintain hyperarousal for very long, we eventually crash and lose the ability to do much of anything. We may go into chronic fatigue, or just like we just can't come out of that crash. And so we may just remain in hypoarousal for a period of time. So all these experiences from this morning seemed great preparation for my day. And through my conversations with my friends, colleagues, and clients, I've become increasingly aware of how stressful these current times can seem. And we each need to know ways in which we can deal with the heightened arousal within ourselves and the selves around us. And then lastly, I wrote, did I mention that the Collective Healing Conference is at no charge? It's a free attendance. You attend online. And so you can look it up. Let me know if you can't find it. Okay, that was that first post that I wrote. And then kind of the theme of the second post is a continuation of the first post. And so I said this morning, pretty much all morning, I found myself listening to a video involving for the organizers of the Collective Healing Conference, which will be I will be virtually attending beginning September 24th through October 1st. And through a series of moments from my dear friend asking me if there was some Mayan vortex portal going on today, to the conversations on the video, to a comment about the collective avoidance of grief. And I can look back and check it. It seems to me that grief has been what I've been talking and writing about for the last 4 months. the grief that's been present in myself, my clients, and the world healing field that I coordinate. So it didn't surprise me when I noticed, even though I had looked at my phone a few dozen times that morning, that it was 9/11. And this might make a person think, oh, that's the emergency number. Or possibly that's when the Twin Towers in New York City were turned into dust by a jet plane. Or it's almost the fall equinox. Me, I think strange thoughts. Mine was, I wonder what kin or solar tribe was active on September 11th of 2001. So I went to 13moon.com and decoded that date. And so what showed up was that September 11th of 2001 was solar kin 251, which is a blue self-existing monkey. And so each kin, there's 260 total kin, because the kin that you are involves your solar kin, which can be one of 20, or your lunar kin, which can be one of 13. So 13 times 20 is 260. So there's 260 total kin, and that's the length of how the Mayan calendar works, is in a 260-day cycle. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but so on September 11th, 2001, it was kin 251 out of 260. So 9 days later, a cycle was starting again. And kin 251 was blue self-existing monkey. And so the galactic affirmation, the thing to think about if you're born on a blue self-existing monkey day, is I define in order to play. Measuring illusion. I seal the process of magic with a self-existing tone of form, and I am guided by the power of accomplishment. Then I had the thought, I wonder what kin solar tribe's year it was in 2001, because the year, the whole year, is dedicated to the kin that are the first day of the year. So in that year, it would have been, the year starts in the Mayan calendar on July 26th. So I went to 13moon.com, decoded the date, July 26th, 2001, and the kin that came up was kin number 2004, which is a yellow solar seed. So the year was a yellow solar seed year. And the galactic affirmation of that year is, I pulse in order to target, realizing awareness. I seal the input of flowering with the solar tone of intention. I'm guided by the power of universal fire. So that was the galactic affirmation for the year of 2001 through 2002, going up to July 25th of 2002. So the Mayan calendar year is July 26th through July 25th of the following year. So their calendar includes 2 years, or 2001, 2002, 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025. That the year is begun at a different point, 7 months from when the Gregorian calendar starts. Okay, so that seemed like a powerful affirmation to begin a year when all heck was about to break loose, leading to a world of fear that really hasn't seemed to integrate since, much like the death of the president and then his brother back in the early 60s, while the brother was running for president. So in those early 60s, there was that trauma, it was a worldwide, universal trauma when the President Kennedy and then his brother, who was running for president, both were assassinated. So that was a major event. There's been many major events. The event of 9/11 in New York in 2001 was just a major traumatic event. But there's been so many traumatic events around the world for so many people that, it's many people's perception that we live in a traumatized world. So, there is an atmosphere, and I work with the World Healing Field 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 4.5 years, 4.5 plus years. And there is such an atmosphere of grief, fear, and anger that is ever present in the world I live in. So I'm not saying it's present in the world you live in, yet it is in mine. And I ask the question, is it my projection that fills the field with grief, anger, and fear? And I wrote that I'm not sure. I'm just one who has always asked a lot of questions, many of which got me in, quote, trouble over and over as a child. One of my parents said, "We don't talk about that." And I asked why. And my parents said, "Because if you keep bringing it up, you might experience pain." And I said, "Why?" And then he replied, "Well, okay, you asked for it." And then I understood why I might experience pain if I asked questions that others found uncomfortable. In that novel that I've been reading, in the 6th book of the futuristic world of Earth and its subdivisions, it's a series called Red Rising, and the author's name is Pierce Brown. But there was a saying that was kind of repeated throughout the book: death begets death begets death. Maybe the words begets, but anyway, you get the point that, war is just a continuous process. It's like we don't, well, I'm just going to read what it says because I think it says what I was just about to say. So, karma was defined in the book Attuned as the unresolved past showing up to be resolved in the present. And we tend to repeat mistakes we don't learn from. That was just what I say. I notice things, sometimes not right away, but eventually. And then I thought, what is today in the Mayan calendar? Because this is a day in the Gregorian calendar that is the 23rd year of the Twin Towers being decimated. The thought being they were completely dematerialized based on jet fuel, which a large number of architects says can't happen, but we don't know what actually happened. But it was completely pulverized. It was dusted. There was nothing left of anything in those buildings. But what is today, in this day, 9/11/2024, what is this day in the Mayan calendar? And today is kin 66, which is White Magnetic World Bridger. And the galactic affirmation for today is that I unify in order to equalize, attracting opportunity, and that I seal the store of death with a magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. So that is the Mayan calendar, solar kin, solar tribe affirmation for today. That we're each experiencing this day. We can each experience the day by our power being doubled. We can attune ourselves to the magnetic lunar tone of our purpose. What is our purpose? And what does it mean for us when we hear the words, I seal the store of death? I seal it. Does that mean I complete it? I release it and integrate all of those deaths that took place on that day and all the deaths that have taken place through the war that started from the collapse of those buildings and the wars that started after that and all the things we've experienced over the last 23 years based on that event. Can we maybe seal the store of death, bring a completion to all the deaths of the past 23 years that in some ways were somehow initiated on this date 23 years ago? And what opportunity are we attracting by healing the wounds of that? It's my sense that this is the event we're back at in the healing field, and this is the event that we're releasing and integrating in order to equalize, balance, attracting new opportunities, really completing the deaths that took place and the release of the energies of those deaths. Coming into a new start, a new place of purpose. What is our purpose? What is our soul purpose? Might be a good question to ask. And what is it like to feel guided by our own power doubled? These affirmations of our kin, solar and lunar tribe, are meant to evoke memories of what we are meant to be as human beings. People sometimes say I'm only human, possibly more so today than ever before. Yet no matter what, we are not only humans. If we are separated from our soul, our spirit, our being, why we might go around killing each other, disrespecting each other and our elder ancestors, and speaking as if nothing has any meaning anyway. What do you know about? What do you know going around? Who do you know going around doing these things today? Killing each other, disrespecting each other, disrespecting our elder ancestors, speaking as nothing has any meaning. Who do you know going around these days, around doing these things? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe our supposedly elected officials have lost their souls, their spirit, their being. Yet maybe they're not lost, but just misplaced. Maybe they traded their soul for a mega mansion. Maybe each of us has felt a lack of spirit, of soul, of being. If we aren't in relationship with others, have we lost something? And then we can ask the question, do we want it back? And if we want it back, then find it. You may have just misplaced it. State out loud, I connect with my deep self. I connect with my higher self. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. Feel it. I let go of anything that's not in my highest good. I choose to work with any beings of the fifth or higher dimensions that can aid me in reclaiming my sovereignty, power, will, and being. That just might do the trick. Make a little magic happen. Open the door to newer, brighter dimensions. You deserve a change today. Possibly make it a good one. So that was the post. And so now we're going to assist all the souls that return to the event that we released and integrated today. We're going to ask the interdimensional being, Thoth and Ra, the deep self, the higher self, and our soul group to assist all the souls that return to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained at the event and bring that soul back into their body in present time with all of their power, clarity, and wisdom. Because that's what you bring back with you from these events. Your power, your clarity, and your wisdom. You get all that back from releasing and integrating traumatic events from your past. Whether you were actively at the event or you just experienced it in the collective trauma of the event. I would ask all souls to ground themselves into the healing center of the earth. All souls, all beings, ground yourself into the healing center of the earth. Open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies into the earth to help rise this frequency up to a place where we more fully feel like living in this beautiful healing field. So we're going to rise it up. We're going to ask the higher self, Thoth and Ra, the deep self, the higher self, our soul ray group, to assist us to deliver these new energies into the world at this time. Yeah, feel them go in. If you're doing this, you're feeling them. Feel those go in. And they go down to the healing center of the earth, and when they're there, we ask that they be activated. And we let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. Take your time after you watch this video and you do this work. Take your time to integrate that experience into your body. Embody your experiences. When you say any of these words out loud, I connect with my deep self. Feel yourself. Embody that. Not just say words. Embody connecting to your deep self. When you say the words, I connect with my higher self. Embody that experience of connecting with your higher self. Feel it in your body. And you ground yourself into the healing center of the earth or the planet, however you want to say it. Feel yourself. Embody your energy connecting to that healing center of the earth. And when you open yourself to the healing power of the One, embody yourself opening to the healing power of the One. And when you state, I release anything not in our highest good now, feel yourself releasing that and embodying the space that you've created by letting all those things go. And when you state, I choose to work with the fifth dimensional beings and higher who are here to assist my healing, notice those beings, feel their presence, and feel the support in you making the changes that you're making right now. Do it every time you think about it. Because we are changing our world, and our world is shared with each other. But we're changing our world by really healing all of it continuously. If you work with the World Healing Field, it's 24/7. It's been active for 4.5 years. End of January of 2020, it was opened, and it's been open ever since. So there's no days off from the World Healing Field, nor would I want there to be. But you can kind of come in and out. You can come in and help, ground the energies that you feel, ground them many times you feel them. It'll help you by doing it. And then sometimes if it feels like a little bit too much, just draw away from it and just do more just self work. But anything you do helps me. Because we're one. That's why I spelled team, T-I-A-M. Because I always wanted there to be an I in team. Okay. That was powerful on my end, and hopefully it was powerful for you and also useful. And I'm glad it actually was recording, and I hope the sound is good enough. And have a lovely healing day, and namaskar.